What's up, mechanics? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of Tool Tuesday here at the Vim Tools headquarters. It's that time of the week again. And as promised, this is a full Q&A episode. Odds are we may talk about some products along the way, but we have like 4 episodes of questions to go through because we haven't been able to do that, so we're going to do that here.
Well, we got 6, right?
Oh, because the break room.
Well, technically no. This is a Friday that we're filming, so Break Room releases today, which means we don't have the questions from that video. But we do have 5 videos between Break Room and Tool Tuesday that we did not get to address because we did them all kind of back to back, and there were no questions yet. So today is going to be simply a Q&A. It's a little boring, I know, but there are some questions that need answering and addressing, and we also have something that we want to talk about here.
Do we want to do that first?
I'd like to formally commit to Vim University. No, I'm kidding. What we want to do is these 3 hats here. As a lot of you know, who have purchased or even made your own type, had them made, whatever, of the Richardson Trucker Style 112s. They're great hats. I love them, but they're expensive. They're extremely expensive, honestly, for what they are. And anyone in the reselling market knows that they are not cheap to get. Richardson has done a great job of getting their brand out there and protecting it because at the end of the day, they come out of similar factories in Vietnam, and I believe these are Vietnam.
Bangladesh.
Right? Is it Bangladesh or Vietnam?
Bangladesh.
They're Bangies?
Yeah.
Where does it say? It says it somewhere. Whatever. Bangladesh. So you know that they're making decent money on it, which is fine. You built your brand, make your money, good for you. But that also makes it a straight nightmare to 3-step, which means 3-step distribution in our sense, selling to a warehouse who sells to a truck who sells to you. Which is why we haven't brought in more of these and made more of them and offered them available. I kind of support a local guy here by having these made with him, and I buy them really for promos or to give to employees here, even friends, whatever. I like supporting local businesses, but it's just not suitable for mass production and reselling through 3-step. But being that he is a local guy, he will allow us to do small quantities. So what I'm going to do is, if you see fit and if you think that you would be interested in any of these 3 hats here or similar styles of the Richardsons, because a lot of people are diehard Richardson fans, I am willing to bring 2 of them in small batches and load them for website exclusives. For those of you who sit here and watch this nonsense every week and follow along with what Vim's doing, this is for you. These will be website exclusives. They won't be sold through 3-step because of the reason I just said. There's no way. They'd be way too expensive. So the only way to sell these Richardsons would be through website exclusives. I'm willing to do that if that's something that you think is worth it. And I want you to tell me which 2 of these 3 designs you would go with, because I'm not going with 3. I'm going with 2. But I will say, my favorite part about these hats is that we did put a Florida patch on these hats and put a little star over Tampa Bay, where we are located and where I was born and raised. So I do love wearing them. I do like the hats, but that is obviously a personal preference and bias. If you like the hats, let us know that you like Richardson hats. You want to see Richardson hats on our website, and tell us which 2 you'd want to see, because this is another issue or another instance in which you will be determining what we do moving forward with these.
Well, so it's either the black with the orange text or the orange with the black text with the green.
Yeah, I can also inverse that green, though.
Yeah, we could inverse the green and do a black patch with green text. So that's an option. Or which one of these 2 orange do you like most? I tend to go with this one. We're both wearing the same one. I kind of like, because the black patch kind of blends into the hat.
I like the black too, but I like colors. It is what it is.
Yeah, so you let us know. We have a surprise hat for the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's not my favorite, but it'll work for the 4th of July.
We only have 2 of them, so or do we have like a couple of those?
We have 2 more that we'll be raffling away with some promotion that we do on the 4th.
Yeah, okay. But questions.
Yes, now on to the Q&A. I'm going to start with the first day of Pliers. Yeah, the first part of Pliers Day, which was Tool Tuesday from 2 weeks ago. So, again, there's going to be some of these that aren't just questions. Some of them are comments that I do want to address. So, this guy said, "Damn you, now I got to spend more money to put some of these fine tools in my box. Love your tools. The HC ratchets are bomb. Bulletproof. Now I got to get more green in my box. By the way, I love the hats and swag. Keep them coming. Keep the videos coming. Peace." that is actually exactly on brand with what we were talking about. I am in the process of bringing in three more hat designs and working on 4 to 5 more shirt designs to really bring in more merch. And we're going to try to figure out the best way to distribute that merch to make it readily available to you, the users, and also affordable, so it's not crazy, because 3-step can get crazy. But I am managing, I'm very new to this, mind you, so I am managing this world of merchandise and apparel sourcing on my own. But I like doing it because I like wearing nice stuff. So bear in mind, when it does come, because you're patient, it will be nice stuff, and it will hold up well. It won't be anything cheap, because I don't like wearing cheap things, but it will be affordable. Someone did say that it seems I always find a few items to purchase with every episode, that's good. That's
a good
constructive.
thing.
That means we're doing it right. And I should be getting my last direct order soon with some of your new hats and paper catalogs. Again, people do like the hats. They said they're going to wear the hat with pride and keep it on top of your head to keep your head out of the sun. Okay, perfect. The reason that we're doing this and that we're diving so much into the hats is because I really want to know if it's worth bringing in this and actually pushing merchandise as a product, which is not very normal of a independent tool brand. It's not a flagship.
We're not doing it as a extra revenue source, which a lot of companies, brands, when they do merch, it's like, oh, we can also make money on merchandise. People want to wear our brand. We're doing it because we like.
I wear it. It's all I wear.
It's a pride thing, and we know a lot of people, at least that we speak to, love the brand as well, so they want to wear some of this stuff too. And we've heard that in the comments. So we want to get this stuff out there.
I have a question. Will you guys address this stupid of a question? Also, happy early birthday. You're welcome. So, yep, we had someone who did comment. So your YouTube comments are seen. They are.
Wait, there was no question in that?
That was a question. Will you address this stupid of a question?
Oh,
I'm assuming.
That's a yes, because we did.
Your YouTube comments are seen. They are addressed, and they are a way for you to communicate with us. For instance, this gentleman said that we sent him a replacement 1/4-inch ratchet for a socket set, and it's fantastic. Thank you. Extremely nice stuff. He had an issue with one of his ratchets. He commented on YouTube asking us to talk to him, and he emailed us, and we got it handled. So I do appreciate you. What's his name? The Jeep and Realtor. That's a fire name. That's a really cool name.
The Jeep and Realtor.
The Jeep and Realtor, from a fellow Jeeper. So someone did say that we were one of the most transparent companies out there, and I do want to emphasize it by saying, obviously, there's always going to be negatives to every brand, to every tool line. There's negatives. It's not like we're imperfect or anything like that, or all the way around. It's not like we're perfect or anything like that. There's obviously things we need to work on ourselves, and we are very aware of that. But we do strive to try to use this as an open channel of communication with you guys, so that we can best serve you and keep bringing out products that you want to see. So.
Yeah. Plus, it's fun for us to do this. It makes
Most of the time.
It makes the day-to-day less boring, because you know that you have some sort of connection with the outside world and the people that are actually using this stuff. So, and we've heard that it helps, so we're going to keep doing it.
We also had a customer this weekend tell us that we should stop doing it. It's garbage.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, you guys are bad at that. Stop doing it.
Yeah, Mike, if you're watching this, that's for you. Also, all these hats are for you as well.
He didn't like the hats either. Someone said they have the V2400G, and it's the best oil filter tool they have ever used. I am here to tell you that recently we got in the extra large version of that.
We've shown it here before.
We have showed it. The V2400 XLG. That is available now.
The shotgun plier.
The large version of that plier.
Yeah.
According to this man, the best oil filter tool he's ever used. So,
it's like,
do with that what you will.
It's like that big, and it's a heavy
Up to
boy.
7 inches. It's a big boy. Craig Cundiff, man, from the very beginning.
From the start, he was here on day one.
From the get-go, I really do appreciate you, my man. That is commitment unlike I've ever seen with anything else. That's
he
great.
saw the original wooden table, and he saw the foldable plastic table.
He'd been around
all the way to where we are now.
That's almost 2 years. That's crazy. That's really nuts. Loving my new HCR ratchets. They are my new go-to. I'm telling you.
Dude, we've had some people call in recently. Even I spoke to somebody today who said that it's his favorite ratchet of all time. He's like, all my other ratchets have been sitting in my box since I got this one. I just love it. You know. online we've addressed some heat on here before. There was like this whole week where there was like people with the handle and whatnot.
Telling you, before we did the break room, before we came out with testing, before we really started showing it and pushing them, someone released something saying, "Bleh, we don't like your handles," and that really gave it a bad rap. Because I get there's preference, I understand that fully, but I think it was so biased from Go that now people are trying them. They're like, well, crap. For instance, someone answered that comment, said the back drag is freaking crazy on these ratchets. It blew me away. I was so against buying them for so long, but I recently purchased a few of them and they are now phenomenal. Super light back drag is super strong. I hope they apply that back drag to a roto head ratchet. That would be harder to do, but it's not out of the realm.
We've had roto head ratchets in the past. I don't know if we're gonna bring them back.
That's what I'm saying. We've experienced with them before. That is it for that video for Plier Day 1. Now, on to the break room, where we did show that 3/8 super strong ratchet. I don't know if any of you saw that. But that thing is strong. All right, for a 3/8 ratchet to go up to 347 foot-pounds?
Yeah.
347 foot-pounds, that's in...
The next closest thing was
an expensive flagship.
310 foot-pounds from one of the most respected tool companies in the world.
And we beat it.
And we beat it by like 15%.
What's crazy is that thick steel, that bar bent before the anvil snapped, which is nuts.
And the anvil snapped, not the teeth. The gears works fine
so it's a
afterwards.
Simple, boop, boop.
And it's designed to do that. The anvil is designed to snap before the gears inside the head break.
So hopefully you don't destroy everything and have to repair everything.
Also, we're gonna get Clay some protective equipment. We're gonna get some plexiglass shields and whatnot. When we saw that video, we were like, oof, that was a close one. He needs some goggles. He needs a helmet. Let's just get him a Bucks helmet.
No, I want to get. Actually, what if we got like a
Vim helmet?
A motocross helmet, but like Vimmed it up. We Vimmed it.
Oh, that'd be fire.
That'd be cool.
I like that a lot, actually.
That'd be cool.
I would want one for my four-wheeler.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why?
Because I'm designing it. You're not getting my designs. Copyright. You heard it here first.
We need no, just names on the back. Same design, names on the back.
You're selling your four-wheeler.
I didn't say that.
You're full of shit. Every day.
Yeah, but if I sell it, I'm gonna get another one. So.
Make up your mind. This guy comes.
I never said. I've been saying I'll sell it. Yes, but I've also said that I was going to get another one to replace it.
They know you already. I don't even have to tell you. They know you. So someone said they still wish we had a locking flex head. I want to know how many of you use locking flex heads versus regular free flex heads. Right? Did I say that right?
I feel like most people prefer the locking. There's a few minority that just prefer free flex.
It's either you're super against or super for, and it's really doesn't help.
No one
much.
is indifferent about it.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what's funny? A very, very popular ratchet manufacturer looked me in the face and said, "It's a gimmick. It just helps people sell more. It's a gimmick. There's really no use to it," which I don't fully agree with. But this is the man making them, so. There you have it. I want to know what you people think. How useful is it, and in which applications do you find it most useful? Someone did mention on this 3/8 video that they want to see the failure load for the 1/2-inch HDR ratchet. Now,
that's a lot harder than you think.
And for the safety of Clay, I don't know how we're going to do that, how we would test it in an environment where A, the cameras are safe, B, the Clay is safe, and C, they're able to put that much force on it. Because that ratchet is rated for 750 foot-pounds, and that is a lot of freaking.
It's rated for 750. The 3/8 was rated for 300 and went to 350. So if we're going to be pushing like 800 plus foot-pounds to break it, you saw how far that 3/8 ratchet flew after it snapped.
Yeah,
it was like it hit the ceiling.
We need safety measures in place before we go ahead and test that 1/2-inch ratchet out.
Yeah.
So if there's any delay in testing that out, no, it's for safety. That is the only
The break room is becoming the explosion room, and we need safety equipment.
Becoming the frickin' liability is what it's becoming. Someone did say that they own this ratchet and they do love it. They don't abuse their tools, and usually we'll go up to a 1/2 inch if I need to put anything close to that kind of oomph into a bolt. But it's good to know that you can press on our ratchet and really put some pressure on it without having to worry about it. That is exactly why we make them that.
That's what they're made for. And a lot of people, when they were giving us crap for the comfort grip being too thick, that was like our main argument, was that those ratchets were built as a heavy duty ratchet. So we weren't too concerned about making a slim handle. We wanted something that was large and comfy for you to grab onto. And so it made sense on that ratchet. And it kind of has proven its point because, they're extremely strong. And people notice that. Now when we expand our ratchet line, obviously we'll go into slimmer handles. And we're actually working on designing a handle. Currently, we're working with some 3D printers to get the designs just right, feeling them in our hands and changing it up and making samples. So we're excited for that.
So someone did say something about Taiwanese, and it's a lot of different comments, so I don't want to really fully go into it. But they did mention that Taiwan's getting really good at making tools, and then they started arguments about people saying that Taiwan is making great tools, but it's way overpriced. That Vim is overpricing tools, yada yada. Essentially saying that we're too expensive. And the best part about that all is that they started comparing us to the flagship import brands, which I'm not going to talk about which customers, but all of our customers import brands, essentially, that we do make a lot of stuff for them. And then at the very end of it, someone said, $50 is cheap as heck. What do you, like, what?
that means that person's probably not a technician.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a 3/8 ratchet that's $50. It's
that's
really
probably
not
somebody who's going and buying a Craftsman ratchet from Home Depot.
But the thing is, you'll find ratchets at Home Depot for more than $50. Like, it's not a crazy price. For those ratchets, they're very up there.
I would agree that Vim is not
we're not cheap by any means.
It's not a garage brand. It's not.
Could be.
Actually,
if your garage is cool.
I would say in terms of brands that people use working on their own stuff, Vim would be more towards the high-end, like expensive area, obviously.
We'll never claim that we're cheap.
But when it comes to professional techs, like in the shop and on trucks, Vim is not expensive.
Correct. See, there are a lot of people saying that that's a very impressive ratchet, but that comfort grip is booty. And then someone else said it. Tough ratchet. If only it didn't have that fat comfort grip handle. I get it, man. It's kind of one of those things where you commit.
But it's also super long. Like the comfort grip is going to be outside of whatever area you're working in, so it's not like it's going to impede you in a tight space.
Correct. But I will say, those who I've seen in person and on video grab those ratchets and be like, you know what? They're really not that big. It's not that bad. And even people...
No, and there was somebody on Instagram who did a comparison between us and all the flagships as well as some other brands, and it was like very similar in size, width, height, everything.
Okay, so now something that we do need to address because, gee lordy, just give the credit where credit's due. It's Project Farm. He is the best reviewer on YouTube about the break room data that we use.
You didn't watch the episode that I did with Christian, did you?
No.
We addressed this.
It was addressed. But what did you say? Address it again. I told you I don't watch these. People think I do.
In the first episode of the break room, when we tested the 1/4" ratchet, we said this is from Project Farm's video where he tested all the 1/4" ratchets. People commented that we were calling out Project Farm, saying that we were like calling him out for not testing our stuff. And so we were like, whoa, okay, maybe we should not say his name. So in the next video, we said, let's not say his name, but we'll put the test up and we'll say it was from a popular YouTuber. Obviously, people will get it. And then it was the opposite.
What do you people?
So we were like, what should we do? Should we say it? Should we not say it? And consensus is say his name. So okay, if we ever use one of his tests again, we will say this is from Project Farm's video.
We'll whisper it, so we don't call him out.
And I think we even tagged him in the first video.
Whatever. Okay, well there you have it. It's not about giving credit or taking credit. We are definitely not taking credit for all those tests. We know that is a very popular YouTuber. We know that you know who the YouTuber is.
We're trying to navigate the internet.
And your emotions.
The internet emotions.
It's wild. It's a wild one. Time to get some PPE. That's what I'm talking about. We need to protect this man.
Protect Clay at all costs.
And the cameras.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The cameras too. That was the one thing he was worried about.
If it wrecks the camera, what happens?
They're very expensive.
But he did mention
he's got a lot of setup.
The issue is, like, even if we give him a helmet, that ratchet coming out of that when it broke, that hits you in the chest. You're dunzos, buddy. Like
Yeah.
we really.
Well, especially in the head, dude. Like, I can imagine, and it can be.
Well, that's why the helmet's
it's a
definite.
point, you know. It
The
can be
helmet's a
sharp.
definite. You need the helmet.
Especially if it
But
snaps.
we're gonna
there's some
figure out how to
shards.
keep Clay safe. All right.
Yep.
Just be glad nothing happened. Oh, someone did say they need to beef up the wrench extender if it let loose some 40 pounds before the ratchet. First of all, that wrench extender let loose at 310 foot-pounds. That's a ton of torque to be putting on a wrench.
That is the same amount as the strongest 3/8 ratchet tested on Project Farm's video.
That being said, mind you,
The strongest and most expensive ratchet.
on those wrench extenders, we made a slight change to reinforce that part where it did break because that is the failure point of it. Instead of forging and folding over on that little like hook, we're actually machining it out to make it a stronger design. So,
Are people using wrench extenders on ratchets?
not really. I mean, they could be, but
Yeah.
I don't. If you're doing that, you need a wrench.
Well, I'm saying because the comment was 40 pounds before the ratchet itself. But
Well, they're implying, they're
we
implying
don't.
that the wrench extender should be stronger than the ratchet. It's just the ratchet's that strong.
I know. Yeah.
Any other ratchet in that test, it would have held up.
I'm saying when creating a wrench extender, we don't look at the strength of a ratchet to
no.
determine how strong it should be.
No.
You know.
Also, you keep in mind there was a pipe on an extended wrench extender on a ratchet. Like that ratchet just held up more than it should have. Is what happened.
We were surprised.
Yes. Now, how about testing the 3/8 flex head ratchet? I really do want to test that flex head ratchet because I believe that the yoke will bend before that anvil does.
Probably.
That is my belief. Because if this pipe bent, the anvil's gonna, or the yoke's gonna bend.
Well, have you seen the heat map under torque loads? That all the heat is on that area.
Yep.
So that's where all the pressure is first.
Applications issue. Use the correct tool for the job. I'm a big advocate for that. I understand things have a warranty, and I get that that is a right of most mechanics and people who pay a lot of money for tools. But is it really worth not having a tool for set amount of weeks because you said, screw it, I don't want to get the right tool or use the right tool you already have? Because a lot of times I get it's a thing of money and you don't have it and you don't want to wait to get it and you can't afford it, whatever the thing may be. But another large portion of the time it's, I don't want to go over to the toolbox. And then you don't have it for 2 weeks and then you're out of luck with the job. Yeah. So just food for thought, use the right tool. That's it. Someone said if you break a tool like that, I do not believe it should be covered under warranty unless you look like the Hulk.
Clay kind of looks like the Hulk.
Well, not as green.
Get a few Modelos in him, and he becomes the
Hulk. Don't make me angry. Anyways, so one thing that I do want to address on that, or not address, but I do want to say is that type of comment is the same thing that my father likes to say. For instance, when we've gotten things that come back in like a U shape, right? He sits there and he'll call the person up because the person will go back and forth over something, whatever it is. Or call a dealer up, be like, "You show me the mechanic that bent this with his hands, I'll give you 10 of them."
Yeah.
And $100 in cash. It's just. It is wild, some of the stuff that you see.
Well, we'll get warranty requests, and the handle will have a clear indentation,
or a complete crack,
where a pipe was put on it, or the handle will be just snapped in half, and people would be like, "Yeah, it broke under normal use."
Yeah, it was in my pocket and I fell and it just get cracked. When we were fixing, me and Michael started fixing lights for a flagship company of ours that we made lights for. That's how we started in this industry, actually, back when we were wee lads in college. And we used to get warranties back at that time, and they were the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how you do that with a light. I don't know how it gets to that point.
You
really
guys need to be honest about these lights that you're using, because we used to get them back filled with oil. And the description...
And not just like there's oil in it. It's like...
The description would be like, just randomly stopped working. And it was like, I would pull the back off, and I could dump oil out of it. It was crazy.
One time it was broken in three separate places, and the man said it was in my pocket and it fell from waist high.
In back pocket and sat down or something.
Or
like dropped from waist high.
I really don't. I don't understand. It's crazy.
I mean, I get it. You want the warranty. Something happened. You ran it over, and you're like, shit. Well, let's see if I can get it warranted.
But tell you what, man,
just so you know, everyone is doing the same thing. What are you doing,
But
buddy?
I'll tell you what, that is one way to get battle ready to make sales calls, is to call people and tell them that their warranty has been denied. as
Yeah.
a kid in college.
And I would just like to say that that was not for Vim at the time.
No.
Vim, we weren't
there
Vim
was no Vim
denying
for us
warranties.
yet.
That was for another company.
That was another company. But what I'm trying to say is that calling a dealer, a tool dealer, an owner of a tool franchise or independent truck, and telling him that a warranty is denied, and that is the main premise of your job, other than fixing
because
things.
he has to go tell his customer that
It's not a fun job.
or he's going to eat it himself, so he loses money.
He is not happy ever.
He's not, and never.
Best case scenario, they're mad and they hang up.
And there was a lot of people that, it was the same names over and over again because, their route, they just had a lot of warranties on these lights, and you were calling them all the time. Hey man, denied. And they were like, yo, stop calling me.
And to be fair, it sounds like we're denying it. No, it was 20-1 that we were denying, or 1 out of 20 that we were denying. It wasn't a crazy amount.
Yeah.
But it was the worst part of that job.
There was a ton of these lights sold, a ton. So obviously,
I think we sold over 70,000 of them in like 3 years.
yeah. So obviously, a small warranty percentage can be, a lot of lights still, even if it's not that much of the amount that was sold.
I mean, yeah, 1% is 700 lights.
Yeah.
So it was, needless to say, we got ready to call people, and we're okay with being denied on a sale because it was much better than being.
My first call ever did not go well. Did not.
It was a fun time learning how to do this as literal 19-year-olds. Someone did mention this. Just another paid advertisement. Why would anyone want to watch this on their spare time? What is it that you're expecting out of a? What's wrong?
I don't understand because it is a Vim Tools page, so technically everything posted here is an advertisement.
It's like going to the Disney Channel,
But
wondering
does-
why they're advertising the parks.
But you're like Mickey Mouse is walking around. You're like, you're just an ad.
Propaganda.
But no, I mean, does this feel like an ad? What we're doing right now, we're not advertising in the typical sense. So we like to think that that's a refreshing thing.
Of course, and I'm always gonna rep for our brand, but I don't like being too in your face about it. And if you're on this channel watching, and if you're still watching at this point, you definitely care about what we have to say about the brand. So again, I don't really quite understand where the comment comes from, but it is what it is. You can't make everyone happy. Now, this gentleman has posted a couple weeks in a row, and this is the first of one, and I kind of want to address it. He said that he recently purchased the DFXL 100 wrenches, and he's really happy with them, but these promises from Vim Tools to finish out the sets make him wish that he bought a competitor's wrench, because it feels like he wasted money when there's no 18mm in that set along with the other sizes. Now, we have Clay Kuhn falsifying data by not performing the test in the same fashion and showing the results from Project Farm, and not backing it by verifying it. Breaking crap don't impress me. Now, if we can make a ratchet like Snap-on and keep it in production for 30 years and hold up, that would be impressive, as it seems we discontinue quite a few tools. Okay, so I want to... There's a lot.
Do we discontinue a lot of tools?
We revamped the entire line, which meant discontinued tools that were 10 years old and didn't move.
We have products that have been here for 50 plus years.
And items that we discontinued, well, that is normal for a company that just got bought and completely revamped.
Yeah.
So that is why you're seeing a lot of discontinued, or you saw a lot of items get discontinued.
And they weren't, hold on. They weren't discontinued. They were updated. We took products out of blow molded cases, put them on mag rails, so the part number was discontinued because we had to make a new part number because we put it on a mag rail. It's not the same product. It's the same components in different packaging. So there were some discontinued products, but they were just updated. Same products, different packaging.
So that is incorrect. We didn't discontinue all that many products. We updated them, and they were superseded by new sets that contained the same and more pieces in said set. Also, not sure where you're getting falsified data from. It's on video. It's quite literally video evidence of it.
People just have to trust that we're not lying.
What do you mean trust?
I'm saying you watch it. I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how we could falsify that. Like if we had a torque tester that was inaccurate by some percentage, I don't know how you would make that happen.
To be the Bernie Madoff of the tool business.
but we're not scammers. So
anyways,
this company has been in business for.
But this is not
years.
the first time. This is one of many comments where he seems unhappy about this wrench set purchase, which I understand. I'm not sure if you were unaware of the components of the wrench set. We're right. We did mention that we are coming out with the 150 version of that set that will have the addition. We'll also have the addition here available separately to fill your set, so that you don't have to buy a completely separate set.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what you'd like us to do other than that. I get you're not content with it, but I feel like you could return the set if you didn't use it yet, but you saw there was no 18 millimeter. Either way, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Vim products have been around for a long time. They will continue to be around for a long time. So I hope you don't base your judgment of our company off of one missing piece. But that's it. That is it for that video.
All right, so now we're looking at the episode where Louis was not here because he was out on a beach somewhere sipping pina coladas while I was working.
I was on a beach.
I don't know where you were. Okay, so
Was I working on the slab?
You were probably working on the slab.
I was
Yeah.
slabbing up. There's a slab going in my house.
Um,
It's kind of my personality now.
he's a concrete man now.
I might as well call me blue collar. No, I'm kidding. I would never. They ripped it up by hand. That was crazy. I'm sorry, but it's hot. And I know there's a lot of you that work a lot harder than me and Michael do here in terms of physical labor, obviously. But that's nuts. It's like 98 degrees outside, and I'm watching homeboys hammer a slab with a sledgehammer. It was freaking crazy.
So somebody said, because I'm sitting right there, Christian was sitting here.
Okay.
And somebody said, old Mr. Make-A-Face on the right over there. Because
Christian?
Yeah. It's just something he'd be like, he's very new here, and he's doing a great job.
He's also very young.
He's doing a great job helping us doing a lot of internal things that we otherwise didn't really have a lot of time for, which is why we can sit here and kind of talk for like 30, 40 minutes.
Exactly, because Christian is helping us, which is part of how we're growing here at Vim Tools. We kind of needed that extra layer of support to stage our business to the next level, which is what we're doing. We've recently hired some employees for just that, to have them all on board and trained to help us get to that next level of growth without lacking the support that you guys have come to know from us.
So there was a comment that says, talking about the episode from the break room, saying, are you going to address the broken breaker bar? And then someone responded to that and said, I agree, seeing the breaker bar break first blew my mind. It needs to be stronger, but the ratchet was one hell of a beast. Agreed. In testing like that, something like that to break, I just didn't expect it to be the beefy looking breaker bar. Did we break a breaker bar?
They're talking about the wrench extender.
Okay, so that wasn't a breaker bar.
So we did just address it, but again, the wrench extender, the hook broke, and it broke at 300 plus foot-pounds. So it wasn't weak that it broke. That ratchet's just crazy. B, like I said, instead of forging it and bending while it's hot, we're actually machining that wrench extender part out so that you don't have to worry about that. That will be reinforced. So that is the addressing that I'm assuming you wanted.
Yeah. So this is the episode where I addressed the Project Farm situation, and so most of these comments are people saying, yeah, I would mention his name. Giving credit is better than not. So yes, we will do that from now on. But someone asked 2 questions here. All right, we are going to keep going while Louis goes and gives his keys to his grandmother. All right, so someone asked a 2-part question. One, is Vim ever going to make these speakers? I've been watching the Tool Tuesday series for quite a while, trying to see what I like. I'd love to buy merch from the company I support. Yes, we are expanding our merch line. We're also going to be expanding the promotional type items like speakers and whatnot. We have a few cool things that are going to be coming out for Christmas. But the speaker, as far as things like that, a lot of times we will begin the process of trying to bring something in like that. And obviously that's a little different than tools. We'll work with factories that we typically don't. And a lot of times we'll get a quote for something like that is crazy expensive. And we're like, we would love to have a speaker, but we don't think that anyone will buy it for a certain price. So we begin negotiating or searching elsewhere, and a lot of times it can just take a little longer than we would like. So we'll have a speaker at some point, and a cooler and fireplace. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that we have ideas for, and then we have samples for it, and we're going to be bringing in. You just got to wait. Just give us, some time. He also asked, he said, try to involve Christian more. He was ready a lot of the times to help you display tools, but he never opened his mouth. I recommend giving him a refresher on the tools before recording so he has a few lines to jump in and talk. Yes, that was very impromptu. We just kind of sat down and I was like, hey, Christian, Louis not here. Do you want to be on Tool Tuesday with me? And we just, started talking. He isn't very familiar with a lot of our products yet. We are working on that with him. He is sitting with Louis and I every day, going over everything, and he's learning. So eventually, there may be a third seat here, or we'll do like a switch off hitter day. So for now, just give him some time to learn. But yes, we will try to go over some of the stuff beforehand so that he knows a little bit more when we talk about it. DFXL 100, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Where's the 150 set? I have to say, I wish I never bought this set. You made a great wrench. My issue is I bought this set with the expectation of you releasing the additional sizes as mentioned in your past videos. 18 millimeter as well as the others. Right now you only offer the 19 separate. The ratcheting crowfoot extension ratcheting wrenches would nice to see as well. I'm to the point I'm ready to buy a different set. So the 150 set, the addition to bring in the missing sizes, we are doing that. That is still coming. We got an ETA on that recently.
We actually finished we had to make the tooling for those two sizes because it was not a thing that was available yet for that style wrench. And we did get that tooling. We got samples and tested said samples. They did test to where we needed them to, so we are now in production on those wrenches. And we will be bringing in foams as well as the extra sizes to make some in-house, as well as to be able to sell some of the foams to customers who want to switch out to make that 150 set, and we're selling the individual wrenches. So you'll have multiple options.
Yes. If we give an estimated time of arrival here, it is exactly that. It's estimated. There's a lot of things that can happen along the way that postpone something that we don't know is going to happen at the time that we're showing it or talking about it. So, just give us a little leeway.
Well, production schedules change,
There's a lot that can happen. The Panama Canal dried up. Bam, 2 months.
Well, it didn't dry up, but
There's a drought,
There is a drought.
and it's very shallow. Ships can't travel through there right now, so it takes like a month or two
it's
more.
delaying ships to go through it because of the droughts. Not so much that they can't go through it, but it's a lot slower than it was. The Suez Canal, on the other end, is also way too dangerous for really most companies, freight companies, to take the risk to go through them. And the ones who do, it's crazy expensive. So that's not a viable option either. So, and just so you know, when they do go through the Panama Canal, we're in Tampa. We get a container directly to Tampa. They pass Tampa Bay, and they go all the way up the Atlantic coast and all the way up to New York, and they mosey their way slowly on down to Tampa Bay. So it's about 2.5 months for a cargo, for an actual container to get to Tampa Bay, unless you send it to Long Beach in California, then have it brought in from Long Beach to Tampa on a truck, which is also timely and quite a little bit more expensive.
We are on to now the screwdriver handle test of the break room. Okay? All right. First comment is, I've been hoping this test would come about. I build and work on fuel tanker trucks and trailers. My tools are covered with gas and diesel and oils all the time. So, whereas my tools don't soak in gas, they still have a heavy UE, I don't know what that means, around it, and I'm afraid they will not last me a month of work. Shame, I was looking forward to use these based off the reviews I hear on how well the grips work. Keep in mind that test was fully submerged in brake cleaner and gasoline.
For 15 hours.
On a typical day of work, that's not going to happen. You may get some overspray, but you're not fully submerging a handle in brake cleaner.
Really gas.
Or gasoline.
Yeah. Again, normal solvents to clean it, not a problem. Just spray it clean, no issue. But it's a break room, so we put them through the test. So we dunked them for 15 hours, and that's what happened. But, like we said, it's the break room. It's not always going to be positive. It's not always going to be just good. If it were just good, we'd be lying.
Someone said, hopefully you had some good ventilation going with all those fumes wafting around. I didn't think about that either.
They were in jars.
I'm just saying, like, the break room it's like you need a hazmat suit in this thing.
I'm going to get Clay like an astronaut suit.
Yeah, like the intro needs to be like green smoke and then him coming through with a yeah, like welcome to the break room.
I love it.
These are my favorite screwdriver handles for sure. They got a tub o towel as soon as I'm done using. Hurts my feelings even seeing old oil on them handles. Yeah, so as soon as you're done using them, you typically wipe them off, and you're not dunking them, submerging them,
or leaving them.
Usually, there's a little bit that gets on it, and then you wipe it off after you're done using it. They're pretty durable. and they are great handles. One of the NCP1, the nail clipping pliers coming in.
So, nail clipping pliers are in production now. We finally found the type that we wanted to go with because, as I previously mentioned, the jaws weren't lining up quite as neatly or as cleanly as we needed them to in the original type that we showed. So, they are in production, and honestly, I am surprised about how much people really want those little things. I get asked that all the time.
I know.
And
Really,
even warehouses are asking me to load it, and I did. But we are, I'm hoping within 2 months we should have those. Because it's a very simple product, but it's just...
Any updates on the availability of the smaller case for the VHC 77 owners?
I think that's already here.
Really? If they are, we need to load them. We got to check on that. We're going to check on that, and the next Tuesday we'll have an update. Someone said I'm going to send you two guys some boxing gloves for the next episode. We need a cage match.
You don't want none.
And then...
You don't want none of this.
And then somebody commented and said, "Oh, they was just fun." And from what they said, they go way back to high school or junior high school, though they do have funny discords. Yeah, we've known each other since we were 14. What year is 2011? How old are we? 13.
13 or 14.
13 or 14. And we played football together at that time up until. There's a funny story about that. I don't know if we should get into it. We're pretty late into the video.
No, another time.
But we spent many hours, on the field together. We went to school. Then we went to college together. We obviously lived very close, so we were always hanging out.
Same house.
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Oh wait.
So and then we went to college, and then we were roommates, and then we started working together. Bam.
We got in one fight. You know what it was about? A massive tractor tire you put in my garage. Anyways, that's another day.
I mean, if I said, "Hey, do you want this massive tractor tire?" I'm sure all of you could find a use for it.
Do you hear how crazy you sound? What do you mean? It
It
was garbage. They were throwing it away, and he said, "No, I know a perfect place for it." And he threw it in my garage.
We did use it a little bit.
We used it twice. It was there for 6 months.
I used it more than you. You just weren't there.
Oh, okay.
Tool suggestion. So the 3/8 ratchet got up to 380 foot-pounds before it broke. It was actually 350, but thank you. I don't know if you guys watched the Torque Test channel or not, but they did a video on the new DeWalt DCF 860, and it kept breaking the socket adapters. Could you guys make a socket adapter set 3 inches long and 6 inches long, quarter, 3/8, and half socket adapters that wouldn't break as easily?
We could, but that's a very saturated market, and
There's a lot of adapters out there.
There's also nothing
for very cheap.
There's also nothing very special about adapters other than being stronger or not stronger. So it's not really our market, but maybe.
That's it.
That's it. We're done.
Wow. Okay, and we told you guys it was going to be a long Q&A episode. I think that was an hour.
I know it's boring.
Well, it was an hour, but there's some stuff that we're probably going to cut out of this, and it's going to go down to like 45 minutes.
Okay. So, all in all, I know it was long. If you're still here, I do appreciate you still being here. I understand that we rambled a little bit. That's a given. We've just been talking the whole time about questions and comments and personal stories and yada yada. But the Q&A is over. The Q&A. I hope we answered all your questions. I hope we addressed your needs, and we'll be back to products next week. So, till then, peace out.